Let me show you how to make beef stew, but let me depart from the usual ways. I'm going to be using some ingredients that are a little different and also some methods that are a little different. We use celery and onion and peppers and garlic and diced tomato, the stew meat cut small, and beef broth. But we're also going to use seasoned flour this time. There's some very good brands out there that have an excellent balance of seasoning, and that's a little different. We're going to try that this time. This is how you cut your carrots, your celery, your bell pepper, and your garlic. Cut a little bit large. Also, your onions. We want them to show up in the recipe. You want to cut your potatoes a little bit bigger than bite size. And here's your bay leaf, which we want to take out towards the end of the recipe, and capers we've added this time. Now we start out in medium to high heat for the garlic, not too high, and just brown it slowly, and then we add the onions and a little salt to make them sweat the moisture. And when that's done, we can add some more vegetables. The bell pepper should go next because that takes longer. And we'll hold back on the carrots and the celery a little bit longer. Give it a good stir. We're going to be adding some other ingredients here. By the way, you could use a paper bag for this or a sealed container. Give it a real good shake and just make sure that it's all coated with this seasoned flour. Coat it evenly, and that's what's going to make your gravy nice and thick. And when we brown it, we want to brown it a little bit at a time, not all at once. Now we're going to drain our vegetables out and start over again on the same pot. This time with canola or vegetable oil, very high heat. Give it a quick browning so it doesn't suck up any of the oil. Keep that vegetable or canola oil very hot. And we're doing it a little bit at a time. The reason why is, of course, we don't want the heat to go down. And when we're done, we go ahead and put our vegetables in, the rest of the vegetables, and give it a good stir. Cover it. And we're going to let that all sweat out for a good 10 or 15 minutes before we start adding any more. Now this is a browning agent. There's a lot of good brands out there. This one is Kitchen Bouquet, I believe. And this is a good brand. If you have it in your supermarket, try it. In the Italian or the Spanish section, this is where we depart from the normal beef stew. It's going to give it either an Italian or a Spanish taste, depending on what you're buying. Only a tablespoon or two of this should go into your recipe. It's a very nice, strong Spanish or Italian taste. We stir it in real well. Give it a good stir. We cover it up. And then we're going to be adding, now we've added diced tomato here, and we've also added beef broth. But we don't want to submerge everything underneath the liquid. We want it to be on top of the liquid, sort of part way. We're stewing, we're braising. And this is going to go on for a couple of hours. Towards the end is when we're going to put our potatoes in. In the last half hour, we're going to add the potatoes. They need about 20 or 30 minutes. We submerge them in the liquid and cover it and let it go another 20 or 30 minutes. and it'll be perfect. See how nice and thick that gravy is, and all those pieces of vegetables are showing very perfectly. We're letting that simmer. Looks good, smells great, tastes great. And there you have it, beef stew. Enjoy.